All right, guys, I'm just going to introduce you real quick. What's your name and what SL group are you a part of?
My name is Ben, and I'm repping Tower SL Group.
Very good.
My name is Rachel, and I'm from Simmons SL Group.
My name's Zoe, and I'm part of Village Cots SL Group.
My name is Matthew, and I go to Tower SL Group.
All right, take it away, Steven.
Yeah, can we have that? Thank you. I'm Steven, and I'm a part of Global. Let's go! So to start us off, we want to just get to know what was your background or understanding about missions in general before the conference. Anyone can answer.
All right, well, I have the mic. So I guess the background that I had was kind of just based on what I grew up knowing, like the Great Commission, obviously. Like Matthew was at 28, 18 through 20. But going to the Great Commission kind of gave me a bigger understanding and a bigger mindset of what it truly is to be or understand the Great Commission.
Let's just pass that along.
I would say that I definitely grew up in a church that taught missions. They taught the Great Commission. And I knew people in my church that were missionaries, but I had never thought about it until CBU, let alone the Great Commission Conference, and it really changed my mind about missions. So,
I grew up overseas, so I observed and participated in a lot of missions, but I did it without any vision or ownership, really. I just thought the point was to get people to heaven, and I didn't know that there's a difference between local and global outreach. So my vision for the nations and understanding God's heart for them didn't really emerge until the last few years that I've been in college.
I feel like it was medium rare. I think before CBU, my vision of missions was very foggy, and since being at CBU, it's pew! Exponential. I think every year I'm wow. It's just every time I think I have a good picture of what it is, I go to something like a Great Commission conference. That just broadens my horizons and just helps me see it in a new perspective.
Yeah, it sounds like for you two, Rachel and Ben, that you've maybe heard a little bit more about the Great Commission before this conference. Can you tell me something that maybe challenged you this last time around?
I think that one thing that a couple of the speakers touched on was the importance of the posture of humility as you are going to something like SLNI or Great Commission Conference, and you're growing in your spiritual breadth of knowledge, right? You guys are cream of the crop, right? You could have been anywhere else tonight, and you're at SLNI, giving up your free time to be here. But in that same note, it's so easy to be wow, look at me, I'm a great Christian, we're all in SL groups, we're killing it, guys. But to just continue to remember why we do it, and I think just having humility as an action and an intentional mindset, instead of just something that we're oh yeah, I'm super humble or whatever.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing that. Super humble.
I realized that I'm not going to wake up one day and just be ready to go. So if I want to go well, I need to slow down. Some might call it training in my 20s. But yes. Really just getting involved in my local church, being discipled, learning how to share well with others. Because while lostness really shapes my vision and desire to go, there's no race to go at the risk of being unequipped.
Yeah, I love how that also involves Ben's answer of you need to be humble, where you can actually put yourself in a position to grow and slow down and not be rushed to go on to the next thing. Yeah, oh, that was. Zoe and Matt, can you talk to me about maybe something that was new to you or that was clarified from the conference?
For me, same with Ben and Rachel. I went to the training in your 20s. I always thought that to do missions, you had to go right after college. And I definitely think it clarified, you have to be trained, you have to be prepared, you have to be humble. And you really have to grow in your understanding of the beauty of the gospel, how to share it well, how to do it well. And Riley, the speaker, said this. He said, we have to be appropriately prepared to make the greatest kingdom impact. And I had never thought that, so.
That's poor.
Yeah, one of the main conferences that kind of stuck out, or parts that stuck out to me was called Counting the Cost for the King. Nice. And so to me, he talked about how he went over 6 people that simply decided to follow God. and then in one of them doing so, it led other people to do the same, and it kind of was just exponential growth in people who were faithful to God. So it kind of showed me how like having initiative and following God can also, it like benefits yourself because that's what we're called to do as Christians, but it also leads others to do the same thing.
Man, I love that. I want to hear more. I want to hear more about what you guys learned, or what was like some highlights that like, really stood out from the conference for you guys.
Yeah, so I think the best part, one of the biggest takeaways was definitely the community, because it was amazing seeing how many students went to the Great Commission Conference. Not only students, but people just in the community that spent the time 2 days to hear from speakers and get a better understanding of what it means to go therefore and make disciples. So it was really encouraging to see that, and also make just connections with students that will help you to see that there is others that have this desire to go therefore and make disciples.
He stole my answer. I also loved the community aspect of it. They definitely pushed us in the lunch break to go out and eat together and talk about what we were learning. And on the Saturday lunch, I got to do that. And we sat in a coffee shop out there. We talked about what we learned. We encouraged each other. It was just great to see other people my age learning similar things on the same track and how we wanted to use that in our lives.
Redlands is really cool. I don't know. It's fun to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
The community, lots of good food, lots of good opportunities to share a meal with a friend.
What is something like that you ate?
Zoe and I went to Taco Bell for dinner one night, so ask someone else for a recommendation.
A Redlands classic. Sorry. Sorry.
There are better options. Choose someone else to ask for recommendations.
There's something called Taco Shack that's pretty good out there. I had a quesadilla taco. It was pretty nice.
I had ramen and poke.
Nice. I also had a Thai spot out there. It was pretty good. Okay, no, food is good. Culture is good. Community is awesome. So what is something you would say, man, I want you to come to next year's Great Commission Conference. What is something you would tell a student who's thinking, oh, do I want to go to that or not?
It was mad convicting. I think one of the speakers specifically talked about how we as Christians steward our resources. And he talked about how, if you took all of the money and resources that's been accumulated by Christians all across the globe, and you sent that directly to the people that need it, to the organizations that are trying to reach the lost, bro, Great Commission is done, it's over, you know what I'm saying? And out of that 100% of money that's available in the world, we send a fraction of 1%. So me, not a lot of home bread in my bank. But just for the future, as as people are graduating or we're thinking about our majors and our jobs, whatever, steward your resources well, including your time, your energy. You guys are here training, you're spending your Wednesday evening here, and you could spend a whole weekend next winter break. At a convention conference.
Great Commission Conference, January.
Yep. So I think it just helped fill my vision cup.
That's awesome.
Because I'm thirsty.
Oh. Thanks, Ben. I know. For living water.
Yes.
But you're not thirsty anymore because living water quenches. All right, moving on.
Yeah. I showed up to the Great Commission Conference, and my first thought was, I have nothing left to learn about the Great Commission. And you all were thinking, wow, she's super unteachable. Don't be like me. Be teachable. Go, right? We're lifelong learners. There's something for everyone to learn at every stage. And something that I learned, too, was a term that vision leaks. So a lot of you are here training for ISP, or you just came to hear more about the nations. That's awesome. You have so much vision right now, but over time, it might leak and you might lose that momentum. So why not put yourself in a position for that vision to be encouraged?
That's great. No, that was both good.
Mine is similar to Ben's. Definitely started the year off right. Obviously those first couple days are all my resolution. This is my mood board. This is what I'm doing this year. And I definitely think I learned a lot about how to, fulfill those a little bit more than I probably would have without the training I got from the Great Commission Conference. And I think it was just a great start in like prayer and worship with other believers who are headed on the same track as you. So
I'd say, like, if you read scripture with the like mindset of what does this say about the nations and God's intention for the nations, I think you'd be surprised how often God like talks about the importance of going out into the nations so that His name may be known among the nations. So definitely going to the Great Commission Conference like revealed that to me, and that it's not just like in the end of Matthew or parts of Mark, Luke, and John where Jesus says, "Oh, go do this." It's no, the entire gospel that Jesus is saying, "Go into the nations," and that like He may be known.
That's awesome. No, thanks. Thank you guys all for sharing. Yeah.